They were tied up and robbed inside their own home by cops? Nope. Police say they were fake cops, and now the NYPD is on the hunt.
Timing out a cold front that'll bring clouds and some gusty winds by morning.
And New York Live is with the fast and furiously funny mind behind Broadway's Freestyle Love Supreme. This is News 4 Now for November 9th. I'm Adam Cooperstein. They were wearing NYPD-branded gear and a fake badge. Now, the real NYPD is looking for a pair of imposters who they say tied up and robbed a family in a Bronx neighborhood on Tuesday morning. It happened at a house in a quiet neighborhood off of Country Club Road. The owner told police that she was tied up by the two men, but managed to escape and then get help from a neighbor. The men then took her phone and a BMW. The car was later found near the Bruckner Expressway. Law enforcement sources tell us that the men were wearing NYPD sweatshirts, sweatpants, bubble vests, and one of them had a shield around his neck. The woman's husband was found inside the home, still tied up. Police are describing the men as white and in their 50s.
I beat COVID.
Yeah!
It's day 2 of the COVID vaccine drive at New York City schools, and Mayor de Blasio says 4,500 kids between 5 and 11 got their shots in hundreds of schools on day 1 alone. 1,000 school buildings will eventually give out the first doses for 1 week only. So far, at least 24,000 doses have been given out since kids ages 5 to 11 got that go-ahead for the Pfizer vaccine last week. 24 mobile vax units are also going to be parked outside of schools to handle the high demand. On Long Island, some drivers are getting hit with $250 fines for something they didn't know they were doing wrong. Suffolk County recently launched a safety program that put 5,000 cameras on school buses. But some people say they've been receiving tickets for passing a bus that was stopped on the opposite side of a multi-lane highway. Unless there's a divider in that highway with a physical median, vehicles passing a stopped school bus in Suffolk County are breaking the law, no matter which direction they're traveling. You'll no longer see former President Donald Trump's name along the Henry Hudson Parkway. His Adopt a Highway sign has been removed near West 79th Street. An online petition appeared a year ago demanding that the sign come down, but the Department of Transportation said it still had a contract with the Trump organization. But that ended on Sunday, and so far no reaction to the news from the Trump organization. Governor Kathy Hochul is now preparing to spend nearly $500 million to get New York's tourism industry back on its feet.
In my opinion, the only way we're going to say that New York is truly back is when the tourism industry is back as well. I believe they are interconnected. Our success as a state and the success of this industry.
$100 million is going to go to one-time payments of more than $2,700 for thousands of workers. Another $100 million is being used in grants for businesses to rehire workers. The governor's also proposing an international marketing campaign and grants for convention centers.
Hi there, I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Maria LaRosa. Hope you enjoyed another sunny, mild afternoon. We have a cold front approaching, not much to it, but it is just enough to bring back the clouds. You can see that's overnight, but it'll start to quickly clear out by the time we get to the later part of the morning. Another thing it will do, will kick up the winds a little bit out of the west, so not too bad for the evening hours, but by tomorrow morning you could see gusts in that 10 to 20 mile per hour range, and with temperatures that'll be cool, not cold. It'll add just a hint of a chill. Temperatures across the region, 50 in Patchogue, will get down to 48 degrees in Fairfield. For the Hudson Valley, no sign of the 30s, clouds helping with that. New Paltz at 43, so is Warwick. And then we'll see temperatures start out in the upper 40s from Jackson and Old Bridge, Bayonne around 53, and we'll end up at about 53 degrees for the city.
They wowed crowds at the Tony Awards, and now the fast and funny minds behind Freestyle Love Supreme are back on Broadway with more improvised musical mayhem, and New York Live caught up with the show's stars to learn more.
I can't believe that I finally get to say today I'm bringing you behind the scenes of the Freestyle Love Supreme. What is that, you say? Well, long before Lynn rode Hamilton or In the Heights, he was busy freestyling with this guy to your right in hopes that they might make it one day. And if you consider that to be the great white way, well, I'd say they did, but why make it once when you can make it twice? How'd I do, Anthony?
Oh my gosh, you just crushed it. Are you kidding me? That was like butter. That was butter.
How do you sit with one of the founding fathers of Freestyle Love Supreme and do that and not be nervous? How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I mean, this is probably like the best day of my life, if I'm being honest. I have been such a fan of all things Freestyle Love Supreme. I've followed your journey, but for anybody who isn't familiar with it beyond the Broadway show, can you just tell everybody the origin story?
The origin story is decades of listening to hip hop and wanting to be a part of what feels like a way to say, hey, I'm here, I matter. I think hip hop does that like incredibly well as an art form. And I was in college, I went to Wesleyan University where I met Lynn and Tommy Kail, and then we moved to New York and created a production company, which was in the basement of the Drama Bookshop. So we're down there and Lynn's working on In the Heights and Tommy is directing that, and I would come in during breaks and Lynn and I would just freestyle. And Tommy would be like, okay guys, we have to get back to rehearsal. And we'd be like, oh, we gotta do this. So Lynn and I decided to make a show, and that show eventually turned into Freestyle Love Supreme.
I got the rainbow, yeah, you know your girl has the pride. I like the rain, so I'm gonna stay inside, cause I don't want the rain, cause sometimes it's a pain. And yeah, I like the clouds, I chill all day.
I was a fan of the show first. I used to go see Freestyle Love Supreme shows when I was in high school, college. When I saw Freestyle Love Supreme on stage, I was like, this is everything I've ever wanted to do.
I've seen all the videos of you guys in your 20s, like just like so excited to be maybe doing this for like 10 people or 20 people. Like what would those kids make of all of this now coming back to Broadway again?
I think they would say, thank God you continued to do this because you made room for each other. And by making room for each other, you all grew in such tremendous ways.
It's an emotional act of humanity at the New York City Marathon. A runner collapsed just 200 meters from the finish line, but he made it across thanks to these men. They grabbed his arms and helped that struggling runner complete the race. Spectators cheering them along the whole way. And now News 4's Gabi Acevedo shows us the heartwarming finish.
Just steps from the finish line of the New York City Marathon, Jamel Melville hit a wall.
Physically, it's tough. My legs were very weak. Very weak.
You can see the 39-year-old Queens native struggling to stay on his feet after nearly 4 hours of running across New York City's 5 boroughs.
You just feel weaker, feel weaker. Whereas but prior to that point, I was passing runners, they were passing me.
This wasn't Jamel's first long-distance race. He ran and finished the Long Beach, California Marathon a month ago, but he says that was nothing compared to the closing moments of yesterday's 50th running of the New York City Marathon.
200 meters from the finish line, ran into some difficulties. I had been slowing my pace a little bit.
And it was at Jamel's most vulnerable moment in the race when video captured an incredible gesture of humanity from fellow runners.
I know one of the runners passed me on my left, and as he passed me, he sort of looked back.
I was, once I saw him, it didn't matter when I finished at that point. I didn't really care about the time. That's what the running community is. We're here to help each other out.
Greg Astreicher was one of the Good Samaritan runners who lifted Jamel up, encouraging him to finish the race.
I just view myself as someone trying to help someone else out, and didn't really. I just wanted to help him finish.
Ty Givens, Jamel's girlfriend, saw the whole thing unfold from the East Side grandstands in Central Park.
That's a very selfless thing, especially when you have your goals and your times, and these guys are competitive and they're fast. So for them to go back and help him.
Jamel is sore, but grateful today for the runners who helped him finish.
I'm gonna hold on to this for a long time and cherish the experience that I had going through what I went through.
Already planning on being back for next year's race.
You haven't seen the last of me. I'm ready to go.
We'll see you back.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next one.
Reporting from Central Park, Gabi Acevedo, News 4, New York.
Thank you so much for joining us on News 4 Now. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.